Good morning, PotCoins. Today is Sunday, 14 September 2014. We are currently on block 431854 of the Pot chain. I want to start out with a correction from 2 weeks ago where I gave some tips about sending pot in the mail. After talking with someone experienced in mailing pot, they told me that the U.S. Postal Service is better than UPS or FedEx because the USPS needs a warrant to open any package, whereas those private corporations do not. Also, a tip that he gave me was to use Mylar as the final layer of packaging because Mylar is too thick for particles to escape through, so no scent molecules can get out. He said Mylar plastic, but I think he may have meant visqueen plastic, probably at least 4 mils thick. Definitely double check for yourself before attempting to send anything. Again, I'm not recommending anyone send pot in the mail, but if you are going to do it right to avoid getting caught. And if you are going to send anything, don't just listen to me, do some research for yourself and check multiple sources. Local Pot has launched. I was very excited for this service. I registered for it and tried to set up a standing by order, but I couldn't figure out how it works. I tried to create an advertisement from the dashboard page, but kept getting redirected to the same advertise page. My goal was to trade with people in my area. I would offer reserve notes, and they would give me pot in person. Maybe once I had too much pot, I would set up a sell order. But again, I just couldn't figure it out. I read the how-to, and I still couldn't. The post a trade page just takes me back to the advertise page, and there's nothing I can do from that page. So I tried the other side. I sent 100 pot to the site's wallet and tried to post a sell order. All the same stuff, redirecting me back to the advertise page. The site looks nice and all, but it was a very frustrating first experience. It's an important and much needed service, and I was personally disappointed that it didn't work for me. I stepped away for a day, and the next time I tried it, I decided to smoke a bowl first. I gave up way faster the second time. It's not easy enough that a stoner can do it. I see that other people have posted orders on there, so obviously it must be possible, and still, I couldn't figure it out. I went to check out what Reddit had to say, and it was a lot of the same stuff. More than a few people were having problems with the verification email. I didn't have that issue, but the verification email did go to my spam junk mail folder. Ironhammer5 asked if he could post trades on there since it was still in beta because the feature wasn't working for him. Canadian 1969 noticed there was no face-to-face or in-person cash option. I was looking for the same thing, but I thought it was the cash deposit option. Since I'm mentioning Redditors, I would like to send a special shout out to EBX, who's responsible for Pot Electrum. But back to Local Pot. I understand that it's still in beta testing and it's only been a few days. I tried one more time and I finally figured it out. My ad blocker was blocking most of the content on the pages. Once I turned off the ad blocker, I was able to post. So if anyone is near Inglewood, I'll trade you some of my reserve notes for some of your PotCoins. I have a great deal of hope for this site, especially since it's such an important and much needed service. Great work from the Pot Labs guys. It got out on Reddit before they were even ready to post it themselves. Everyone is obviously excited about this service. Get some of those bugs fixed and PotCoins are going to the moon. Thanks again to Pot Labs for everything that they're doing. Chicago bans pot smoking. But wait, pot smoking is already illegal there. I know because I used to live there and I've been arrested for pot there. So now it's not just illegal, it's banned too. It's double wrong. It's super wrong. It's like really bad. Okay, what does that really mean? Great question. Now we're getting somewhere. If you get caught smoking pot, you will get arrested and you'll get charged for possession, which will cost you $500. You'll get a charge for paraphernalia if you have anything else pot related on you, and that fine is $750. And now, since it's banned, it's another fine of $500 more, similar to a tobacco smoking ticket in places where smoking tobacco is banned. The moral of the story is the government will always come up with more ways to steal money from you. The good news is that I don't live there anymore. I chose to live in Denver. And this past week in my city, we had the Marijuana for Medical Professionals Conference. Healthcare professionals from all over the country came here to have detailed discussions about how marijuana behaves in the brain and in the body, and to do it objectively and true to the scientific method. No agenda one way or the other. They talked about the harmful effects and the beneficial effects, and their only goal was the pursuit of knowledge. Denver really is that much better than Chicago. Braintree is going to accept Bitcoin. They have announced that they are actively working with Coinbase to begin transactions in Bitcoin within the coming months. This would give thousands of merchants the ability to transact in Bitcoin. And once PayPal gets on board, that would be millions of merchants. And this past week, PayPal put out a commercial about the people economy that runs on Bitcoin. It was a really creepy commercial with multiple voices overlapping and continuously changing faces. I'm not sure if I can show that clip, but let's see what happens.
We have magical money, not bound by bank or bill. It's instant, simple, and secure enough to get out of the way. Consider yourself invited to the people economy.
This is really big news to me personally, since Braintree works with Uber and I drive for Uber. So I should be able to get paid in Bitcoin soon. Also, the property management company for my apartment uses PayPal, so I will be able to pay my rent in Bitcoin soon. All the crypto skeptics that claim it's just for drugs and gambling will be eating their words when I'm paying my rent in Bitcoin. But what about the volatility? I'm not worried about it at all. Sure, I expect almost all of those merchants to cash out into fiat immediately. Probably more than 95% of them, and the price might drop lower than it is right now. But sooner than later, merchants will be paying suppliers and employees in Bitcoin, and there will be less and less need to cash out into fiat. That's when the Bitcoin economy will explode. And when the value of fiat currencies starts dropping against the Bitcoin, Bitcoins will be too valuable for microtransactions. The average transaction fee will be too much to be sending millibits at a time. That's when the surviving altcoins will become much more relevant. Over the past few months, people have asked, what is the benefit of using PotCoins over Bitcoins? Now the best answer to that question is the transaction fees. Transaction fees in PotCoin are multiple orders of magnitude less than transaction fees in Bitcoin. And since PotCoins are industry specific to pot, there are other options for other things. Litecoin transaction fees are still orders of magnitude less than Bitcoin, and Dogecoin transactions are the cheapest yet. There is plenty of room for altcoins, and there will be much more need for them as the value of Bitcoin increases. This week's Business of the Week is weedgear.com. You can buy PotCoins from Weedgear through PayPal. They are charging quite a premium as compared to the exchanges, but it's still much easier than using exchanges for a beginner. Weedgear is a site about ratings and reviews for all pot-related products. It seems much more focused on growers than consumers, with categories like grow tents, lighting, hydro supplies, seeds, clones, and more, but there are also consumer product reviews too. The most interesting thing about the site is that you can be rewarded in PotCoins for posting reviews of products, or by asking or answering questions about listed products, or correcting mistakes or false information, and even for completing surveys and writing articles. This site is a great resource for rookie and veteran growers alike, and to a slightly lesser extent for consumers. So if you know about equipment and want to spread the knowledge, or if you want to learn about any of it, go register at weedgear.com. You can learn, share, earn PotCoins, and make the community a better place. That's all for this edition of Mad PotCoins. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Almost made it to the end of the show.